to take what Karan just shared about power and bring it to my backyard, North Central Washington. Rural, deeply shaped by agriculture, multiracial, and for a long time, invisible to statewide politics. My organizing journey didn't start with a campaign. It began when my mother asked me to go with her to help interpret at an event where she wanted to get more involved in a local effort to restore a park. Little did I know that that invitation would come with years of organizing, meeting some of the most incredible people in my community and my neighborhood, and it ended up me seeing a group of immigrant mothers, children, demand to their local officials, not only for them to listen to them, but to invest in their vision for their neighborhood. And that was the first time I felt what collective power looks like. After I graduated college, I became a tax accountant, frankly because I needed to pay bills. And during the toughest and most scariest moments of the pandemic, I saw something that stayed with me. I saw wealthy individuals and corporations making record profits, backed by loans, credits, lots of financial safety nets for them. And at the same time, I saw my neighbors fundraising through GoFundMes and mutual aid to bury their loved ones. Sometimes those same people worked for those corporations. The rich got richer as our community suffered. And I knew my calling was to organize. And that led to a choice. It led me to Rural People's Voice, where we are building multiracial working class power in North Central Washington. And I want to share some of what I've learned. Real power doesn't come from quick campaigns or surface-level inclusion. It is done from multiracial organizing, done deeply and done over time. Early on, we made a decision that multiracial organizing was going to be our foundation. That meant making organizing a livable job. You can't build power when people are burning out or always working for free. It meant an unshakable commitment to multiracial organizing as a strategy, not as the optics. It meant who we trained and how we trained. And it meant accepting that we were going to make mistakes along the way. Because a lot of the work in our field does something that we might call token representation. And I'm sure a lot of us in this room have felt frustrations in the past with campaigns that might translate documents or items that don't really speak to our communities, or showing racial diversity on flyers but are not represented in their staff or their leadership. Multiracial organizing looks different. It looks like having meetings in spare rooms and in church basements, homemade tortillas shared across the tables, emotional conversations with our neighbors on their front porches. It's people dancing together, grieving together, and building trust across differences. And that takes time. We chose to go slow, not because we didn't feel the urgency, but because we knew rushing wouldn't build the kind of durable power we need. So in 2024, when the mega millionaire Brian Haywood tried to buy himself and his rich buddies more tax breaks, boo, right, that's right, yeah. He paid signature gatherers to lie to voters in front of libraries and grocery stores to get these measures on the ballot. Organized money tried to buy our state. We hit doors early in April in both Wenatchee and Omak, and we weren't just talking to likely voters. We were going to every door because we knew we can't build power only talking to the same people who already vote or already showing up. Our organizers learned to talk to people of all working class backgrounds: the immigrant agricultural worker, the white custodial worker, the nurse who works night shifts. We learned to talk about our campaign with others in ways that really connected with them. And basically, when others were talking about this campaign in wonky terms, we brought it down to what everyday people are experiencing and what we could do about it together. And here's what happened. We went big in rural Washington. Our counties, which still went a large majority to Trump in 2024, also overwhelmingly defended the taxes on the ultra-wealthy and the big energy companies. Organized people in our counties and in counties across Washington stopped them. One of the families that helped make that possible in my community is an immigrant mother and her 2 daughters, ages 6 and 8. And I'm just going to share their names to bring them into this room. They're actually in the photo on the front, Rosario, Grace, and Zoe. Yeah. They are leaders in our base, and they have been in this work with us. They knew this campaign. They knew what this meant for their communities, for their families. And so when we asked if they could be on a mailer that we were going to send to 60,000 homes across north central Washington, they were ready. They said yes, and later, those 2 little ones actually were bringing us volunteers. Their teachers were so excited to see them on, a mailer that came to their doors, and they asked them how they could get involved, and we had an answer. And that's what organizing looks like when it's real. Writing this victory, lawmakers made the capital gains tax even stronger in 2025, and this year passed the millionaire's tax with strong support from organizations like ours and others in this room. That's what it looks like for us, not just to respond to power, but to build it and use it. There are organizations in this room who have been doing this work, this kind of deep organizing for decades, and we stand on your shoulders. What we've learned is this: if we want to win lasting change, especially in places that are often written off, we have to invest in multiracial organizing, and we have to give it the time it takes. Because in places like where I'm from, we're used to being told that we don't have power, that decisions get made somewhere else and by someone else. And that's a believable narrative. But we've seen what happens when people come together across race, across language, across differences. We don't just show up, we win, and we change what's possible. Thank you.